So I was gonna do this much longer ago, like 2 hours ago. But my bathroom caught on fire, so I'm not kidding, it actually caught on fire. So I don't know if I'm gonna upload this tonight, but let's go ahead and get to the questions, shall we? How many shots can you take within 1 hour while still having some ability to think and move consciously by the end of the hour? We're about to find out. Hear that smoke detector? I hope that's a smoke detector, not the carbon monoxide detector. Was that the carbon monoxide detector or the smoke detector? Alright, so we're not going to die randomly then. I heard it. They sound the same. Down the hatchet. Ooh. Not a whiskey drinker. Alright. Why did you remove a bunch of your videos? I remember one I really liked where it was like a poem and montage of stuff. You had videoed like fireworks. I really liked some of them and wish I could listen/watch them again. Phrase very odd. I removed a lot of those old videos for a couple reasons. One, I'm not proud of them anymore. Not even close to being proud of them anymore. Two, well, I guess that's really the main reason. I mean, there's not really much else besides that. I said a lot of things in my past that I don't necessarily agree with now, and I used to be a little whiny bitch. And I don't like the way I came off in video, so they had to go. It's all, a lot of people seem to be all about the past, and I'm not about that shit. Gotta keep your eyes on the prize. I'm making good stuff now. Better stuff than I've ever made before, at least video-wise. So, thanks to the guys that have stuck around, I guess, but I have no desire to upload anything I made before, and honestly, most of my old videos are just gone forever unless one of you guys have them, because I didn't save any of that shit. What inspired you to go? Oh shit! Sorry. This is the point. I'm sure some people already have. You're gonna call me a bitch because I'm not just drinking the whiskey on its own. I have to have a shot, and that's fine. I'll take the bitch criticism because whiskey tastes vile. So, what inspired you to go into filmmaking? A guy by the name of Rex Hicks. www.rexhicks.com. Check out his site. He doesn't make movies anymore now. He's drifted toward more traditional art. He paints and stuff now. But when we were kids, he grew up in the town right next to mine, and he had a website before the internet boom or whatever. He was one of the first people to have one, and he made movies with his friends, and I was really attracted to that. Something moved me seeing like an atmosphere that I had seen a million times but put together with a story and a soundtrack and all that stuff. So I bought a video camera. I guess my dad bought me a video camera, I should say, when I was 14 or 15, something like that. But he bought me the camera, and I just started making little short movies with my friends. 7 or 8 years later, here I am still doing this shit. So it obviously had some profound effect on me. And speaking of Rex Hicks, he asked these two questions, so I thought it'd be good to... I'm not going to take a drink because I consider these part of the same question. So you'll get the fucking drink after this. Not like you guys give a shit anyhow. It's for the questions, not the drunkenness. Number 1, what is my favorite medium of art? Music. Definitely music. Music affects me in a way that nothing else can. And I think it's the most, one of the most important art forms too, because it moves you and can trigger, distinct memories without actually seeing it. And I think that's interesting. It's one of the only art forms that you don't have to visually see to be affected by. So, and why? Well, that's kind of why. I love all art. There's no form of art that I don't like. I love expression. I don't think there's anything that really defines the human condition in a way that art does. You know, it strips you of the facade that you put on, you know. I mean, you might be giving yourself another one within your art, but it's still more, you know, it's still more intimate than real life is to me. I mean, that's what attracts me to it. What medium would I like to try next? That's a really good question. I don't really know. I would love to learn how to paint, but I have retarded hands, so I can't do that. I can do digital stuff all right, which is odd, but I can't paint with my hands to save my life. That's why I started taking pictures, is because I couldn't paint. I would like to write a book. I think that's my next big goal that I want to do. I want to write a book. Like a real book, not like a YouTube book, you know. Like a real book. And then try to find a publisher and do it the real way. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I have a couple ideas in my head. I also want to illustrate and write a children's book about... I'm not going to say what it's about because I don't want someone stealing my idea and finishing it before me because I procrastinate like shit. But it's a good idea. Okay. Your cinematography is amazing. Thank you. Oh, wait. Now I do got to take a drink. Ugh. God, that tastes like balls. I'm doing this all stream of consciousness, by the way, so this is going to end up being 30 or 40 minutes long, so I might not upload it tonight. I don't know. It's 11:30 right now, so maybe I probably still could, although I probably shouldn't. Uploading videos at night just means not very many people are going to watch them. Anyway, you've made a lot of TJ's videos look beautiful. Thank you. Do you work in any other visual mediums, i.e. drawing, painting, photography? Yeah, I would consider myself a photographer before I considered myself a filmmaker. Even though that's something I really want to get into more heavily, you know, I think it's something that I'm good at doing. You know, I'm good at directing and telling people what to do and, you know, getting the look that I want, you know, the aesthetic. I'm very good at creating atmospheres. It's one thing I really do feel like I'm talented at. But like I said, I wish I could draw, but I can't. I write all the time. Like I try to write something every day. You know, even if it's just a little blurb, just purely for nostalgia factor on my Tumblr, or just something that I write for myself or in my journals. I'm always practicing. You know, I'm aiming for brilliance. I haven't hit it yet, but I'm only 22 years old, so, you know, by the time I'm 30, 35, hopefully I will have, you know, pursued it enough to actually feel. Of course, an artist never truly feels brilliant, I guess, unless they're cocky. No one likes those artists anyway. Okay, it's starting to hit me now. Why do you exist, and do you think life has a true meaning? Well, in what context? I think life has meaning to other lives. You know, like, I think the whole purpose of life is just to affect people and to be affected, because there's no grand scheme of things. I mean, we're stupid creatures. We don't understand the universe. We don't even understand our own planet or our own people. But to find connections with other human beings and bridge those, I think that's the zest of life. You know, I think that is truly the only important thing that we ever do in life. You know, like you can spend your whole life getting money and acquiring bullshit and owning cars and a nice house and having a mortgage and a pretty family and all that shit. But at the end of the day, you know, you can't take that shit with you when you die. You know, you become just a memory, and even that memory becomes distorted and fades, but, you know, it's the only thing that will transcend you. And that's another thing that I think is important about art, because art is the only thing that is immortal. You know, like it doesn't, you know, it doesn't really ever die. Question over. What is my favorite band, brand new? I'm going to cut right here and make a little stipulation. I'm not going to take a drink after every question because I've got like 50 questions here I'm about to answer, and I want to be able to upload this tonight. And if I get too drunk, I won't be able to. So any question that I can answer with just like a sentence or so, I'm not going to drink for those. I know, complain all you want, but I'll get drunk. Just let it be on my own terms. God, don't pressure me. Fuck. Would I debate / punch Bill O'Reilly? Compared to all the other Fox pundits now, like, Bill O'Reilly really pissed me off when I was like 16. Because he was like the prominent voice of douchebaggery. You know, like, he was the one. But now he's just like the old man. You know, like, he doesn't really affect me in the same way. It's like, oh, there's Bill O'Reilly again, fucking bitching about Christmas, or, you know. It really surprises me that that dude has such a, like, a valuable education. Like, he went to Harvard. TJ and I were reading about that earlier. Like, all these accolades the guy has, you know, achieved in his life. For what? You know, like, that mental deterioration after 28 years old or whatever must be steep, because that dude just seems like so primitive to me. And here's a fun fact about Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly got sued by a worker, and in the court papers, you can look this up for yourself. They have scanned images of the actual court papers. The woman, you know, I don't remember her name, but she said that Bill O'Reilly called her on the phone one night and had a vibrator up his ass and was masturbating. So there's family values for you. What's your advice on trying to lose a lot of weight? See, here's the thing. When I first started losing weight, I did it, I did it in a very healthy way. I stopped drinking soda. That's a big thing. If you drink soda and you're heavy set, and you're heavy set and you want to lose weight, stop drinking it. I lost like 15 pounds in 2 months by not drinking soda. And then once that happened, I'm like, all right, I'm going to change my diet up, and I stopped eating greasy-ass food. Instead, I just ate grilled chicken and baked potatoes. I did that for like 7 fucking months. And then I got caught up in this girl, and I lost my appetite for like 8 months, and I got way too skinny. I don't know if any of you guys remember that time period, but there was a while there where I was looking pretty terrible. Like a sandwich away from death or whatever. So that had to stop, And once that kind of plateaued, I've actually gained like 15 pounds in the last 2 or 3 months, but I needed to. I'm 6'2", and I weigh 161 pounds now. But 2 months ago I weighed 140, which is way too fucking skinny for someone my height. But in 2007, which I know some of you people are still with me from way back then, which blows my mind. I love you guys the most, because I was an asshole back then, and not even a valuable asshole, just an asshole to be an asshole, But I'm gonna move this webcam over so I can actually see it. I don't even know if I'm in frame. All right, I am in frame. Okay. What was I saying again? Oh yeah, losing weight. I was 265 pounds at my biggest. So from 2007 to 2010, I lost, I think, 125, 130 pounds, something like that. Which is a lot of weight to lose, but, it's not hard. I don't believe that it's truly hard if you really want to lose weight. It wasn't a big feat for me to do it. I just decided I didn't want to be fat anymore, and I stopped being fat. I stopped eating like a pig. That's really all it took. Alright, now I'll take a drink because I answered a couple questions. So. Oh yeah, if you're drinking, drink up with me. Okay. Where were we at? Okay. What's it like living with TJ? It's pretty badass. I'm pretty satisfied with my life right now. Our bathroom caught on fire tonight, which was interesting. TJ was sitting literally 10 feet away from the fire and didn't notice it. I was upstairs, and I have asthma. Speaking of asthma, time for one of these. By the way, spare your, oh, you're a dumbass, you have asthma, you shouldn't be smoking. I know I shouldn't be smoking. Doesn't stop me. Don't give a shit. Don't give a shit. Anyway, I was upstairs and I smelled smoke and I was having a hard time breathing. So I took my eyes off of the computer. I was reading questions from my, the video that I'm answering questions to now. And I looked up and my whole room was covered in smoke. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on, So I walked down the steps and TJ's just on the computer, browsing Reddit, which is something we both do. If you don't know the website, reddit.com, very good site for information. And not just one opinion, there's a Reddit hive mind, but if you go deeper into it, it kind of, it balances itself out, and there's a lot of rational people on that website. A lot of irrational people too, but that's the same with anything on the internet. But anyway, TJ was playing with a lighter, and I asked him, are you lighting something on fire? And he's like, no, what are you talking about? He didn't even smell the fucking smoke. I'm like, do you smell that? He's like, no. Because all the smoke must have drifted upstairs into my room, because my room was just covered in fucking smoke or whatever. So I'm browsing around, and I open the bathroom door, and there's just like this huge rush of heat and this orange glow. And instantly my reaction is, get the fuck out of this house. Like, TJ, let's get out of here. But, I went outside and got some snow, because there's like fucking 10 feet of snow on the ground. That's a little bit of hyperbole, but there's a lot of snow on the ground. TJ got water, which was the more sensible route, but he didn't see the flames. I was irrational. But, so we put the fire out and called our landlord or whatever, and it's all taken care of now. We just have a ruined bathroom for the next few days, but interesting story for the night, at the very least. Okay, what do I think of anarchy? It's stupid. I mean, I hate order and I hate rule just as much as the next guy, but if there's no sort of institution, if there's no sort of governing body, then for one, we have no infrastructure. Because no one's going to build that shit on their own free will. There has to be some sort of incentive. And incentive can't be provided by the people. Because people aren't going to just give their money away. Which money in in an anarchist society wouldn't really work either. I mean, if you're truly going for anarchy. And people are just bad. I mean, there's an evil streak in every single human being. And the only way that can be quelled is to have some sort of objective authority over you. And as much as I fucking hate to say that, because I hate authority, I'm always the first one to say fuck authority, But it is at a base level something that any civilized society has to have. Now, how far that government goes, that's generally where the disconnect is for me, because I am for legalizing all drugs, not just the soft ones, not just like marijuana. I'm for all of them. I think putting drug addicts in prison is so counterproductive and just institutionalizes, sick people, because that's what they are. They're ill. They don't deserve to be in prison, And they don't deserve to be forced into rehab if they don't want to go, because that's not going to cure anybody. You have to want it to get sober. So it really my opinion is I want as little government as necessary. Where the line blurs between necessary and unnecessary, I'm not smart enough to know. I wouldn't even claim to be. But anarchy does not work, and anarchists are stupid. They're knee-jerk reactions. That's all they are. Anyway, Would I ever extinguish your cigarette in my cum shot? Is there any other way? Okay. Do I really believe that we are hopeless, that the powerful will ultimately remain the powerful, and that no amount of love, compassion, or attention to reality will ever cause a societal shift for the better? Whoa, 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 whoa. That's a disconnect there. I don't think we're hopeless. Of course, I make a video and the dog can't shut up. Okay. Fuck it, you're gonna have to deal with it, because I can't, we don't have a muzzle, so it's gonna have to deal. But, I don't think we're hopeless. I think that we are inattentive. You know, our senses are kept dulled by convenience. You know, they give us, you know, a convenient place to live in, which isn't necessarily evil, you know, but I think they use that convenience to blind us from the injustices that the rest of the world has to suffer for it. You know, like our convenience is stepping directly on the backs of other people that have, you know, no conception of it. You know, they have no perception of convenience. You know, their whole lives, you know, are about struggle. And that's directly because of us. So, I mean, I don't think we're hopeless. I just think we are inattentive and we don't pay enough attention to things. Now, what is better? You know, that's what you have to ask yourself, because I don't like that word. Because what is better for me, I don't think is necessarily better for you or the next guy, you know. I think all drugs should be legalized, but I know why that makes people nervous, because they think, you know, their kids are going to go buy heroin at the grocery store, you know. But if you look at our you know, our system, and you compare it with other systems, where there have been several countries that have legalized all drugs and have seen a tremendous drop in drug abuse because of it. And also, you got to take into consideration that if you legalize drugs and you take away the black market, and you can introduce, you know, quality. You know, like I don't care who you are. If you think that a meth addict has to shove dirty meth into his veins, or, you know, down his throat, whatever his method is, you're fucked up. You know, why can't they have access to standards and protocol? You know, it's the same as anything else. And I mean, if we legalized all drugs, we could take care of our entire economic crisis. Just period. It's just the fucking truth. We could. But I don't know, because I don't know what better is. You know, I see things that I think would be better, but, you know, I can't really say for sure, because I won't ever see it. You know, it won't ever happen in my lifetime. You know, I don't think all drugs will be legalized in my lifetime. Period. I mean, our stigma against them is just so strong, you know, in our society, that I'm starting to feel kind of drunk. I'm slurring my words, but so I'm gonna spare the drinking for a little bit, just so I can get through these. I really wish I could tell how long this is. Oh well. What about if you just say an interesting fact about yourself? Alright. Fuck, a train's coming. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be annoying for about 10 minutes. But before the train comes, I should say, my dream woman is Pam Beasley from The Office. The first 2 seasons of the show. That is in my head. You hear the train? I hear the train coming. But that's my dream woman. I'm gonna shut these windows so I can still. Okay. Let's go ahead and take this time. Jack Daniels. Oh, it's a charter train too, so it's gonna take forever. Anyway, sorry about that. But yeah, she is my perception of the perfect woman. I don't know why. I don't know, she just is. But sexually speaking, my dream woman is Fiona Apple in the Criminal video. If you haven't seen it, pause this video, open a new tab, go to YouTube, and type in Fiona Apple Criminal. God, the things I would do to that girl. I would just do terrible things. Just terrible, unspeakable things. If Trump really runs for president, would I join the carpool to Canada? What would really be the difference? I mean, honestly, what would be the difference? A rich American becomes president. I mean, when has that ever happened before? I can think of several presidents in the last 100 years where that's been the case. George W. Bush being a prime example of a rich white kid that lived off of his daddy and mooched off his daddy, and he ended up becoming president off of it. Donald Trump is no different. He inherited a bunch of property and a bunch of money, and he exploited it, and now he's an incredible success in business. So I don't really think it'd be any different, because our president is nothing more than a puppet. If anything, I think Donald Trump would be the perfect puppet for what not for what America should be, but for what America is. I mean, it's all about money and making it, and making as much as you can. That's all anybody fucking cares about. That's my biggest problem with like rap music or half the movies I fucking see that have bloated budgets for retarded CGI that doesn't even look good. It's all about profit. And, who is a better face for that? Who would be a better symbol for American culture than Donald Trump? I mean, it seems too surreal and at the same time too literal to be even a possibility. But just the fact that that's the kind of country that we live in, I hope he does run for president. I don't even care if he wins, because I see America as a culture of obnoxious consumption. So who better to represent that than an obnoxious consumer that got wealthy? I can open my windows again, hold on. Smells like smoke in here. Okay, drink. I really hope the audio is recording. That would suck if not. What's going to happen when this question's phrased weird. What's going to happen when the U.S. creditors wise up to the fact that the United States will not be able to pay back their debts? China, for instance. As long as, that's the thing, is it's really an imaginary number. Sure, we owe billions of dollars to Japan, but if you pay them off in small increments, as long as they're getting something out of it, they're never going to cut it off. That's the thing, is a lot of our country builds relationships with countries by borrowing money or giving money away, because it forms a not just a bond, but a legal agreement, pretty much. If you take yourself away from this, then we're going to come at you for all this money. So it kind of, I don't think that'll ever happen. Plus, so many countries are reliant on us, As hard as that is to believe, it's true. A lot of countries are. So, it is what it is. I don't think it's ever really going to change. I don't think there is any wising up to do, is what I'm trying to say. Why are girls so obsessed with themselves? Why is this okay? Funny story. This is why I'm answering this question. I bought this at a Cenex gas station. And there was a girl behind me. And there was like two dudes in front of me. And they were taking for fucking ever. And it got to be about my turn, and this girl just butts in front of me. And of course I'm not going to say anything because it's petty and like, what the fuck ever. I've already been there for 10 minutes. I'm not very confrontational, especially with women, because it's fruitless, women always seem to have this sense of entitlement that, how dare you speak to me, in any context that isn't, fake. But she butted in front of me, and she fucking bought her cigarettes, and she bought her beer. It was Bush Light, by the way. Fucking gross. Yeah, but she, she strolls out, and, you just, shit like that happens to me every day. Women take advantage of the idea, like, that's my problem with feminism, is I always hear women, feminists talking about equal rights for women. But that's not really what feminists want. They want preferential treatment. That's why our custody laws are so fucked up in this nation. That's why so many dads get fucked out of custody with their kids, because women can exploit it. If a man does one thing wrong, then he has to prove that he's not an unstable human being. But women will get, a million chances. And I just think that's the culture we live in. I'm not saying all women are like this, because they're not. There are plenty of empowered women that really are, independent and strive to be that. But it's not as common as it is a woman that just has her fucking hand out and wants something. And it's just the truth, because, women are nurturing, but at the same time, they want comfort. So they will do whatever they have to get it. That's the disconnect between men and women, is women want comfort and men don't really have that desire. It's not something that really enters our head as, is this going to make me comfortable? Like, let's just say this. Let's say any man that's watching this video right now, there's a really, like, the sexiest woman you've ever seen in your life. And she's standing right there, butt naked. She's like, you can have me right now. And this girl is a bad cookie. Like, you just know it. You can see it in her face. And this girl, if you don't sleep with her, she's going to wait for the next dude to walk in, and she's going to offer the same exact fucking thing. But you were lucky, and you walked in that room, and that girl's laying there. And there's 2 mattresses in this room. In the other room, there's just an average-looking girl. But she really likes you. And you know that if you sleep with this girl, it's a for sure bet. This girl will love you till the end of time. She'll cook for you. She'll do all that shit. She'll rub your feet and blow you, all that fun stuff. And you won't, you never know if you're going to see this other girl again. I guarantee you, even if any guy here says otherwise, they're just contrarian to be it, and they're fighting their nature. A man will almost always fuck the girl that's hot and unstable. I can't really define why. They just will. Now that's not the case with a woman, because a woman will see the hot dude and the average looking dude, and she'll weigh her options. Men don't do that, generally speaking. I sure as fuck don't. Anyway, when did you stop believing in a deity and become an atheist? It's a hard question to answer, because I never really believed in God. Like, when I went to church, I just saw it as very odd. It gave me a very unsettling feeling. I used to go to church with my cousin every Wednesday and every Sunday, but there was a record store right down the street. And we would just ditch church and go to the record store, and they had like a black light room where you could smell incense and listen to old records. So that's what we did. We'd just go down there and listen to music, and when it was 10:30 and church was about out, we'd slip back in and just, bide our time a little bit. So I never really had that, like, I gotta please God thing. It was never part of my mentality. But my whole family is Christian. I mean, they're weird Christians, like my dad loves the fact that he slept with hundreds of women. According to the Bible, that's a really bad fucking thing to do. Like, that's pretty bad. But to him, it's like one of the things that he's really proud of in his life. And I don't blame him. Fuck, why would I? I got no reason to. But he still believes in a God, and he just thinks that these are things that are part of his humanity and things that will be forgiven. Even if he's not sorry for them, he just thinks that God is this, this really caring thing. I don't know what he views God as, but it just never clicked with me. I never had a moment where it was like a moment of clarity where I'm like, well, I don't believe in God. When I was like 16, I finally decided to start telling people that I didn't believe in God anymore. And maybe, I'm sure the shock factor at the time probably had something to do with it, but it was true, so I was able to justify it, you know. Like, in my head, I was like, I'm definitely doing this because I like the negative reaction it's getting. But inside, I really didn't believe in God, and I really felt like Christianity in America, especially, was a problem. I saw it, you know. I saw its injustice all the time. You know, I had gay friends that lived with me because their parents disowned them and they had nowhere to go. You know, because of Christianity. You know, like that would not be considered a taboo in America if it weren't for religion. Period. We would not be having these conversations right now if it weren't for religion. So, you know, it just went from me being like, you know, fuck God, fuck anybody that believes in God. I was kind of on that tide still when I first started YouTube. And now it's just kind of like, I mean, if you want to believe in that nonsense, go ahead. I just, don't bring me into it. You know, as long as someone doesn't try to convert me or make me feel guilty for not believing in God, I don't have a problem. But the second somebody does, then we have issues. I revert right back to that 16-year-old self, and I throw every single argument that everyone's heard a million fucking times. You know, who created the creator? You know, do you really believe the Earth is only 6,000 years old? What about carbon dating? You know, do you think dinosaurs and man coexisted? You know, just things that to me prove their ignorance. I don't know why I do it. You know, maybe it's some sort of intellectual superiority that I get out of it. But I don't know. Like, at the end of the day, I don't think that there's a bigger problem in the world than religion. I think religion will likely be the end of human civilization. I think when nukes start being dropped, I think it will be in the name of God, whether it be Allah or Jesus Christ. You know, God kind of deludes you into thinking that terrible things can be okay. So I have a real problem with it. But I never really believed in God. I never had a specific moment. I'm going to be dizzy by the end of this. I'm like halfway through this shit. What are your favorite cartoons? Wow. That's a loaded question. Anything early 90s Nickelodeon. You know, Rocko's Modern Life, All Real Monsters, Hey Arnold, Rugrats, Ren and Stimpy, all those shows. When I got a little bit older, I started watching Beavis and Butthead and Daria, and you know, I like South Park, and I used to like Family Guy, but I don't know, it's not really my thing anymore. But I really loved cartoons when I was a kid. That was the first thing I ever really wanted to be. What the fuck's going on out there? There's a party going on across the street, so people are randomly fighting and shit. Two dudes are fighting outside. Sorry, I kind of threw off my train of thought. What were we talking about? Cartoons. I got a cold. I don't know if you can hear those people fighting, but it's really distracting me. Anyway, yeah, so I mean, I really wanted to be a cartoonist when I was a kid, and then I just realized that I couldn't draw, so I wanted to write cartoons instead. Then I realized I could write, but I can't really write comedy all that well, so it just that dream kind of faded as a kid, I guess. I don't even really have that desire anymore, you know, like not even a little bit, so it's kind of weird to completely transcend something that you wanted so bad when you were young. Was I raised in a religious family, and if I was, how did I deconvert? Well, I kind of answered that earlier, but my grandma, who recently died, she was real religious, not in a traditional sense. She never went to church in my whole life, not one time. But she was so dead set in the things that she believed, you know, and she always tried to do what she felt like God wanted her to do. And I kind of, you know, like I always saw my grandma as somebody that was very intelligent, but just didn't tap into it, didn't allow herself to tap into it. And I guess maybe that's part of the reason why I try to be as open-minded as I can be, because there were some things where she was just closed off about. I mean, she was the nicest woman in the world, you know. They had like 30 fucking stray cats because she would just feed these animals until they were fat as hell. Just because that's the kind of woman she was, you know. You couldn't go into her house without her feeding you. And, you know, like, it was a really important thing to her. So I don't want to give any kind of, you know, I don't want to give off any kind of perception of her other than being a terrific human being. And I'm not just saying that because she's dead. I'm saying that because it's the fucking truth. I've never met a woman in my life that was as good as her. But there was a certain brilliance to my grandma that I never actually got to see. You know, like, she would stumble on it on occasion, but then she would always go back to the God thing. You know, she'd always go back to, you know, we just can't question those things. You know, there are certain things that she refused to question because she felt like God would not want her to. And I just think she robbed herself of some opportunity. And that kind of frustrates me a little bit, you know, that she didn't ever get to realize it. I mean, it was all willful, you know, and she died, you know, having the thought that she was going to heaven, you know. Like, I don't think she died scared, because she wasn't ever scared of anything. But I do think she died without realizing her true potential. You know, and so, I mean, that is what it is, you know, like, I mean, and only in an intellectual sense, because in every other sense of the word, she met her potential, you know, like, she was, like, seriously, like, that woman was, like, the best grandmother that a person could ask for, you know. She was like a second mom to me. You know, like, I've never met a grandma that picked her grandkids up to go to school every day, picked them up from school every day, cooked them dinner almost every day, and was cool with having every one of her grandchildren at her house at one time, had a freezer full of fucking popsicles and, you know, a whole room devoted to fucking toys. You know, like, that's the kind of person she was. But, you know, she was the real God one in my family. She was always the one that was always like, you gotta believe in God. You know, you gotta believe in God. That's the only thing I ask of you. I don't care what you do in your life, just please don't question God. And of course, that's the one thing that I questioned the most at the time when I was a kid, you know, because I viewed it the same way I viewed the Easter Bunny or Santa Claus. I know that's a cliche, but that's really how I put them into perspective, you know, like, you're telling me that this guy gives you little clues, but you don't ever see him, you don't know what his intentions are, but he knows everything. You know, it just seems silly to me. Question over. It's like a punchline indicator. Okay. What's my favorite whiskey? I don't drink whiskey very much. I'm a Jaeger guy, but TJ convinced me to drink some Jack, so that's what I'm drinking tonight. And I drank a couple mixed drinks before I started this video, so I was already a little bit tipsy. We went to Buffalo Wild Wings, and I drank a little bit there and drank some gin, so it's a good night. If I could, would I rid the world of religious people? Nope. I want religious people to have their faith. I think it's selfish to rape them of that. That's what gets them through. Won't take it from them. I won't even make it seem like I am a stronger person for not believing in it. I'm just a more skeptical one. 1 second. I've never seen that in a video. Someone says, "Be right back." That's a blog TV thing. But no, I wouldn't rid the world of religious people. Well, that's a fine line to walk, because as I said earlier, I do think religion is the main problem in the world. But some people need that shit, so who the fuck am I to take it from them? What do you believe happens in the afterlife? I'm an atheist, but I constantly wonder what's going to happen to me. Well, if you're really wondering what's going to happen to you, then I don't think you can really say you're an atheist, because I'm pretty sure an atheist has a pretty good idea of what's going to happen to them. I will become worm food. I will be processed back into the soil. And maybe I'll become a tree one day. You know, part of me. You know, I will help build a tree. I'm comfortable with that. You know, when I was a kid, I was sick all the time, and the doctors thought that I had cystic fibrosis. I don't, by the way. But, you know, I had to deal with the idea of death really early on. Maybe that helped me in a way to not be scared of it, because I just don't fear it anymore. You know, like when I die, I'll be gone. You know, like I want to have some sort of legacy before that. You know, like I have these delusions in my head that I want to accomplish things before I go. You know, things that are important to me. But I don't worry about it. You know, if there is a heaven, which I'm very confident that there's not, almost confident to the point where it's obnoxious. But if I have to be cast, you know, for judgment or whatever, and if God sends me to hell, then at least I will be with all my favorite rock bands. I don't worry about it, you know, like, and here's another thing. Here's the one thing about hell that I never understood is eternity is a long fucking time, right? And this Lord, this whole life is a test for this Lord to prove whether or not you deserve to be in the kingdom of heaven. But, okay, right there, that alone is terrible, by the way. But if you have to spend eternity in a place, don't you think you get used to it after a while? Like, wouldn't all the fire and, you know, your flesh melting and, you know, all that nonsense, wouldn't that just after like 110 years, wouldn't it just be like, okay, this is my existence now? You know, like, it's from the get-go, it's silly. I mean, it's so silly. I mean, if you replace the word God with Zeus or, you know, Ringo Starr, you know, anything, you know, put any word you want there, then the concept seems ridiculous. But because it has such a history, that's why it's such a sacred cow, you know, obviously. Question over. Gross. What conspiracies do I believe? 9/11 one? No. I don't believe that. I'm not a truther. I think that it is there are a lot of things to criticize our government for. You know, we wage wars in all these countries. We're killing innocent people every day. Guantanamo Bay is still open. The Patriot Act was just renewed. There's so many things to want to dismantle the government for. To suggest that they were behind 9/11 is just, first of all, it's a disgrace. It's an insult to the people that died that day. Period. Fucking period. Two, I believe, I fully believe, you know, Popular Mechanics when they refuted the whole thing. You know, and they very rationally explained how these buildings fell the way that they fell. I believe them. Plus, I don't see the incentive. You know, like, if we wanted to wage war, we could wage war with any country. I mean, Iraq is not that big of a country anyway. How many secret wars do you think we fight anyway? You know, like, if you want to get on your government's ass, get on their ass about shit that actually matters. You know, even if the government was behind 9/11, even if they were, what does it matter? It's not going to bring anybody back. It's not going to, it wouldn't justify the deaths of those people in any way. There's no capacity where that information would be useful. So let it fucking go. Critique the things that you can actually change. However, there are some conspiracy theories that I wouldn't say that I believe, but I'm inclined in that direction because, I mean, things just don't make sense to me. JFK being one of them. just the whole thing seems very off to me, especially the fact that, where Oswald was sitting, I don't think he, it just seems very improbable that he would have that kind of shot. You know what I mean? It just seems off to me. Not saying I believe it fully either way, but I don't have an opinion on that because I don't know, But I'm inclined to believe that there's more going on there than we know. But that's the truth with anything in the government, like the really big things we don't know, not even that much of what they do, whether it be 9/11 or otherwise. Does your predictability to your own thought process frustrate you? No, that's all I got to rely on. Like if it frustrated me, I would just be a really confused individual. And I don't feel all that confused, like the things that I believe I don't necessarily think are objective, but I do believe that they're mine, like at the end of the day, that's what makes me, so it doesn't frustrate me at all. I don't think any kind of predictability of self should be frustrating. It should be comforting, because that's all you really know. Everybody you love, everybody that loves you, they don't love you, they love the perception of you. And you don't, just like you don't love them, you love the perception of them. All you truly have is yourself. What the hell does Saturnine mean, man? Ha ha ha, or is it just something you coined? Google can answer that one for you. When I was in 7th grade, I think, I had a teacher named Mrs. Dione, and she was an awesome teacher, by the way. One of the only teachers I ever had that I respect to this day, and I think she deserves to be teaching somewhere better than that hellhole. But we had a vocabulary word, and it was Saturnine. And that same week, we had a word called pariah, which I'm sure you guys know what pariah means, like an outcast, but it originally meant like a drummer or a percussionist. And everyone in my class was laughing about that, like, ha, the drummer in the classroom, he's the pariah, so that totally makes sense. That same week, like, I think my teacher thought I was having a hard time with that, but I really wasn't. But I told her, I guess I should preface it by saying Saturnine means, like, gloomy and, depressing and shit. Which is, great for me, because I'm an emo fuck half the time. But, I told her I would have a band called Saturnine one day. And that never happened. I never had a band called Saturnine. But when I was in the 9th grade and I started making movies with my friends, I was like, well, why don't we start a film group? I was active in a website called filmfights.com, which was great for me. I learned so many useful things from that website. I should really still be part of it. I don't know why I'm not. Probably because I don't make movies that much anymore. Although, not going to give you guys too much detail on this, but we are working on making some stuff that's going to be awesome. I'm not going to get too far into it right now because, we're still in the development stages of it, but it's going to be pretty awesome. I'm going to be able to flex that muscle a little bit more. But anyway, when I was in 9th grade, it had to have been 9th grade, I started a film group, and I was like, all right, I'm going to realize the Saturnine thing. I'm going to call my film group Saturnine Films. And that's what I did. My sophomore year, YouTube started up, and at the time, I had some web hosting that a friend had given to me. But, no one was seeing that shit. It was like an open directory of videos. There's no incentive to go to that shit. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll just upload my movies to YouTube. And I did. And a couple years later, I still had that YouTube account, and I saw a video by Venom Fang X. I don't know if any of you guys remember that guy, that Joker, but he was something else, like an uber Christian fundamentalist dumbass. And I don't mean that in, like in a derogatory sense where every Christian is a dumbass, but every fundy is a dumbass in any religion, or any ideology. If you're a fundamentalist, you're fucking stupid. Period. But I was like, I really want to refute this guy. I had watched a couple of TJ's videos at the time. I watched a couple Captain Awesome videos. Don't like that douche nugget either. A couple other people I don't really remember. And I'm like, I'm going to refute this guy. So I made a video response to Venom Fang X, and that video got like 12,000 views or something like that. So I'm like, wow, like this is 12,000 people watch this. I really, really want to keep doing this. So rather than make a new channel, I was like, I'll just keep the name. And 5 years later, here we are, still Saturnine Films. So there's the backstory of that, and I think that warrants a little drink. Ooh. Okay. What do I think of vegetarians? I don't. Whatever floats your boat, man. Like, personal choices don't really affect me. Now, if you're one of those vegetarians that are like gonna throw fucking fake blood at you if you have fur on, then fuck you, because you're a fundamentalist too. But if you just don't like eating meat, why the fuck would I have a problem with that? That seems like such a small thing to have a problem with. Anyway, that was all the questions I was going to answer, but I don't feel like stopping yet, so let's go to the YouTube page. If colors were food, what food would each standard color be? Okay, I'm going to skip that question because that's ridiculous. Spaghetti would be red. There you go. What kind of music do you like? And what is your favorite band? I already said that. My favorite band is Brand New. I hate their first two records. I don't like Your Favorite Weapon, and I don't like Deja Entendu, but The Devil and God or Raging Inside Me and Daisy, I think, are two of the best albums ever written. They speak to me in ways that no other album ever has. But music, some bands that I'm listening to right now, I listen to Every Time I Die. Their newest record, New Junk Aesthetic, is very good. I listen to Two Door Cinema Club and Deer in the Headlights and Local Natives and Fleet Foxes, Explosions in the Sky. I'm trying to think. I know I'm leaving bands out, obviously. I listen to so much music, it's all just kind of clouding right now. Oh, fucking Tupac and Biggie. I love 90s rap. It's just probably odd to hear, but I do. I love it. Why have I recently become obsessed with smoking? I'm not obsessed with it, I just smoke. And it does make me very happy to see how many people are just so scared to death that they will critique anybody that isn't. Like, I'm not scared of the risk of cancer. It's not a guarantee that smoking these are going to give me cancer. It's not a guarantee, period. And also just the condemnation that smokers get in the everyday world is just bull snatch in every sense of the word. It's unwarranted. It's ridiculous. If someone chooses to smoke, turn the other way and shut the fuck up. I always go back to a Bill Hicks quote. He said, what he says is, I smoke. And if you have a problem with that, I suggest you take a look around at the world in which we live and shut the fuck up. And that's exactly how I feel. Shut the fuck up already. I don't give a fuck if you have a problem with it. Be gone. What do I do besides make videos? I masturbate every day. Masturbation is good for your prostate. It's good for, it decreases the risk of prostate cancer. So, masturbate every day, children. Nah, but what I really do, I'm a photographer by nature. Like, that's what I really, that's what I'm the best at, I think. But I write, My whole life is pretty much devoted to art. You know, that's kind of what I do. You know, I'm trying to make a name for myself so I can do this for a living for the rest of my life. You know, because I can't do the 9-to-5 thing. My brain just doesn't work that way. It doesn't operate in that context. I don't like routine. I don't like monotony. I don't like making other people rich. I don't like taking orders from people. It's always been that way for me. The only way that I can make myself a success is to do it my own way. And this is how I'm doing it. So, there you go. Why do you hate black people? I don't. I hate all people. Thank you very much. Ooh. God, so many fuck, marry, kill questions. What's the funniest thing I've ever done while intoxicated? I've slept with a whole bunch of people that I should not have slept with. But that doesn't make a very good story. I mean, in and of itself it would, but I'm not going to get into that one. But one time, I got drunk at a party of Rex's, actually, who I mentioned earlier, and I just got fucking annihilated and took a taxi cab home. And I thought I fell asleep, but I woke up in a puddle of my own piss and vomit all over the place. My dad walked in to see if I wanted to go to McDonald's with him, so when I was still living with him, and saw that I was in a puddle of my own waste. And he was pissed off about it. Was not very happy. Alright. What do I think of Pomplamoose doing these Hyundai commercials? Whatever. Ride the wave, I guess. I wouldn't do it, but, you know, whatever. More power to him. Are you and I, an astronaut, still doing Joy the band? Yes, we are. We just haven't made anything for a long time because I'm trying to finish up the documentary that TJ and I are doing. And, you know, I have a lot of shit on my plate right now. I don't have a lot of time to devote to it. But, yes, we're still doing stuff. Which is worse, Glenn Beck or Bill O'Reilly? Definitely Glenn Beck, because at least Bill O'Reilly, when he has obnoxious things to say, they are backed with maybe just a tinge of relevance and a tinge of fact. But Glenn Beck is like, eventually monkeys are gonna come from the sewage pipes and they're gonna rape your daughters. And it's like, why do you think that? I just know. I got a real problem with Glenn Beck. I don't like that motherfucker at all. It's a true fact. He said that once. He said monkeys are gonna fly out of the sewers and rape your daughters. Do I play video games? No. I don't have enough time, and even if I did, I feel like they're a waste of time and energy. Time should be devoted to something better than that, I think. Why do you title your videos in capital letters? Because it's fun. Another fucking train? Are you kidding me? Fuck. Give me a fucking break. 12:30 at night. Goddamn, people are trying to sleep. Can I fuck you? I don't know. Maybe. You look insanely like an actor called Jake Abel. Are you guys related? No, I don't know who that is, but every day it's someone new. It's either... Has anyone ever told you that you look like Ryan from The Office, or you look like a young Anderson Cooper, or when I was fatter, you look like Gerard Way. Why can't I just look like Cody Weber? You know, like, that's a respectable man. Do your friends dance? Not that I know of. Smoke a bowl instead of taking shots. That's legal. How did I get so good looking? I was an ugly duckling that turned into a swan. Nah, I don't know. I don't think I'm particularly good looking, but everybody says that shit. Go on, train. Go. If it's another charter train, I'm gonna fucking hang myself. Oh, it is. Fuck. Am I ever going to do a Your Band Sucks episode 2? I've thought about bringing Your Band Sucks to YouTube, but unfortunately YouTube has retarded strict policies as far as music goes, so I don't think there's ever going to be a time where I can do that again, but I would like to. That was fun to do. Don't you hate when you click the next page of comments on YouTube and they're the same comments as the first page? It's annoying. What is your position on our video games art debate? I never really thought about it. I don't know. I really don't know. I consider it art in a very primitive sense, you know, like the storyboarding is art, the actual graphics are art, but I don't think someone sitting there playing a video game is art. I can't see that. Maybe that's me being closed-minded, but I don't know. Have you ever watched the Zeitgeist documentary? Yes, I think it's the most overrated trite in the world. Trite bullshit. God, a couple questions about people fucking me. Where are you women? Why aren't you here? Have you ever heard of the bands Bon Iver, Fleet Foxes, and Fake Problems? Bon Iver is one of my favorite musicians. I've seen him twice. I just love his voice. And Fleet Foxes, as I said before, one of my favorite bands. I haven't really listened to any Fake Problems, but I will, because if you're putting them in the same list as those other two, then it leads me to believe that you have a good taste in music, sir. So I'll listen to them. How'd you get so skinny? I already answered that question. Damn it. A lot of stupid questions. Do you consider street art art? People like Banksy. Of course. Street art's one of my favorite cultures of art. I think if there's a wall, especially one that's been painted white, it deserves to be painted on. Why keep your shit boring? I think people that get pissed off about graffiti should be proud of it. You know, like, now my wall's not so fucking boring. As long as they're not, like, painting on your windows or painting over your sign or some shit, I see no problem. Do I visit 4chan? No, not really. I go to Reddit all the time, which I hear all the time that a lot of Reddit is just regurgitated 4chan shit, but I don't care. I like the Reddit community. I don't like the 4chan community. Generally. I don't like hive mind anything, not even on Reddit. Like, I don't like the Reddit hive mind either. I just like that it's very easy to find differing opinions on Reddit. This one guy asked me like 20 questions, and I banned him because of it, because goddamn was it annoying. Well, I had like 3 pages of fucking just questions from this asshole. Am I preparing for the economic collapse? I've been broke my whole life. So if the economy collapses, it'll just be like all these other people are joining me. I said, you suck, and you told me to go die in a fire. Don't you think that's a little extreme? No. My thoughts on Stone Sour and or the Foo Fighters. I hate them both. No reason, I just think they make bad music. Do I like the White Stripes? No, I don't. Okay. If dogs had wings, what would happen? They would fly. I don't fucking know. What's something you and TJ disagree on? TJ likes the fact that we live in a consumer-based society, and I think it's disgusting. That's pretty much the only thing that we've really ever disagreed on a fundamental level. Which is weird, because sometimes I shoot videos for him, and he's talking about those things sometimes. It's kind of got to look the other way, because we don't see eye to eye on that at all. I see, because my problem is not with the consumption. It's not with the fact that we consume so much, because at this point, we can't help it. Everyone in this society pretty much has been bred on that. So you can't blame us, But I see us becoming slaves to these corporations who not only I'm not even going to say influence, because they decide our elections, and they decide our presidential candidates. And now they can donate as much as they want to parties and not even have to tell. They don't have to be transparent about it. They can, they can promote their agenda without even having to be transparent about it. So I see that as a real problem. Have I ever drank moonshine? No, I haven't. Although I would. I have drank absinthe a couple times. Those were fun nights. Very fucking crazy, but very fun. Alright, I think we're... Okay. Which do you think is worse, Mormonism or fundamentalist Christianity? Fundamentalist anything. I mean, fundamentalist Christianity, fundamentalist Islam, fundamentalist pickle eaters. I don't give a fuck. They're all bad. There's nothing good about a fundamentalist. When you cut a banana, a slice sticks to the knife until you cut another slice. How do you explain that? Stumped me, man. Bread goes in, toast comes out. Never a miscommunication. Can't explain that. I love that meme. That's my favorite meme right now. Alright, I think we are almost at the end of this. So if you've made it through this whole video, then that's awesome. I don't know how long I've been talking because I can't see. I don't know how long this video is going to take to upload, but I'm going to upload it right now before the room starts spinning. And I would like to thank you for keeping me company vicariously. Before I take off, I plan on doing a video series where I dissect Glenn Beck. Like, I want to do like a 5-part video series because I've been watching a few videos where I would really like to tear that down a little bit, and I think it'd be fun. So be prepared for that. That's probably what I'm going to be working on, unless there's some big news that happens. A lot of my videos lately have been politically driven, and that's probably the direction that I'm going to keep moving in because I don't know. I don't think I have any solutions, but I do think I can highlight the problems pretty well. Maybe that's just the bitch in me, the whiner. But it is what it is. Thanks for sitting here. Bye.